For the wings of the Moogle, you're going to have to make 4 of these little pieces for every wing. So I'm going to show you how to do one of these pieces now. So for one of the 4 pieces of one wing, you have to make a chain of 9 chain stitches. You start with a little loop on the hook and you make 9 chain stitches. That's one chain of 9. And then you crochet back into the chain only once, it's very small. You can choose to do it in the loop, but you can also do it in the hidden loop in the back. You have to skip the first stitch you made, otherwise you'll unravel your own work. So you'll have to start with 3 regular single crochet stitches. Skip the first, then you make 1 single crochet. So I'm making these in the hidden loop in the back, so your work will be neater on the other side of the work because you'll have 2 visible loops there in the end. You can already see it a bit here. Looks a bit like the start of a chain. And you'll do 1/2 double crochet, so you wrap it around once and pull through all the loops. Then you do 2 double crochets, and another one. Now in the old pattern it says 2 double trebles, but I recently changed the pattern and it's now only a treble of 2 trebles actually. So you have to wrap it around twice, finish it off with 2 trebles. There you go, that's one piece. So you can see now the top of our work looks like the little V. You can see the little V of the stitches, but they're also there at the bottom. And the previous part I've made, you can also see the V's at the top, but at the bottom I didn't do it. I didn't crochet in the hidden 3rd stitch, so you can see the difference. So it's not necessary to do it that way, but I like the outcome. We'll now crochet all 4 pieces together. I've already did 2, so you can see what it has to look like in the end. So I've achieved this by putting 2 of the pieces we've made on top of each other with their wrong sides touching, and I just crocheted 1 line of 9 single crochet through the loops of both wings, well, wing parts. So they'll be attached like this, and then we'll simply add another one by touching it to the top one, bottom to bottom. Make sure you match the 9 stitches so you can easily attach them all. Now if you're smart, you leave a long tail of yarn when you finish off, so you can use that to crochet this little line. I think you'll need about 30 centimeters, maybe a bit less. Of course I wasn't smart this time, so I'll have to attach a separate piece of yarn and sew in more ends later. So you'll just insert your needle into both stitches and crochet it like a single crochet. And as long as you don't skip any stitches on either side, it should work very nicely. very tiny. That's the last one. Finish off. So that should leave you with 3 pieces attached and a lot of tails of yarn. So after that you can do the same thing with the last piece, and then I'll show you in a different short video how to finish it off with, well, crocheting a nice edge all around. So now you can make a nice clean edge here by crocheting all around with single crochets, and it's also a nice way to hide some of your leftover yarn tails. I personally like to crochet them right into my work, because that would save a lot of work. So I just, the 2 tails of yarn I have here, I just lay them on top of the stitches I'll have to crochet, and they'll just hide into the stitch I'm making. It doesn't work when the tails you're trying to hide are a different color, because they will be visible within the stitch, but it usually matches. So I hide them in there for a couple stitches, and depending on how long the tail of yarn is and what I'm working on. I don't want it all to be too bulky. Then I'll just hide it in the back for now, and I'll just crochet all along this edge around the joint, and in the joint I make 1 or 2 extra stitches. I think I'm going with 2. I don't want it to be too sharp a corner, and when you add 3 stitches to a corner, it will usually make a 90-degree angle. Since it's a wing, we prefer it a little softer, like maybe a 70-degree angle. And around this part you can see that there aren't regular stitches visible for you, where you can logically think, well, that's where I'll have to enter my hook into a stitch. So you'll just, you have to improvise a bit and make sure you try to space it evenly. Just keep checking if you don't have any holes or if it doesn't pull too much. So you can see I use a slightly different color for the edge so you can see properly. And just continue like this. And when you crochet past more yarn tails you still have hanging there, you can just take them up like you did in the beginning. So they'll be just crocheted into your work. Now you can stop here and leave the rest of the wing like this. This is the part where you attach it to the back of the Moogle doll. And the bottom you still have the yarn tails, but you can just hide them with a little needle and sew them into the crocheted stitches you've made here along the edge. And then you have a cute little Moogle wing. And when you do the other one, make sure you flip it and you crochet the edge along the other side, so they'll be mirrored, and otherwise you'll have to attach it backwards, which will not look nice. Well, I hope this helped. If not, just contact me with any questions, and have a lovely day.